Eliza Pinckney Lucas was born in Antigua. In 1738, at 16 years old, her father moved her and her family to Charlestown, South Carolina. He was a British soldier, and she was highly educated. She had been educated in England, and she studied botany. What is that? Agriculture. She loved to get her hands dirty. How many 16-year-olds can say that? When they came to South Carolina, she was determined to grow indigo. It was a major thing being sold to England, and she knew if the colonies could just get it to grow, they'd make a lot of money. But everyone told her it wasn't going to happen in this environment. It had been tried before. She was dreaming. Her father was called back to Antigua, so she was left here in charge of Plantation. After investing all of her money to make indigo grow, it took almost 4 years. The first year she had a little sprout. She was very excited, but unfortunately, throughout those years, her crops were destroyed by fire, storms, and worms. But she finally, and yes, with help of slaves, out there in the dirt with them digging, that was her baby, she made indigo happen. Also in this period, they tried to marry her off to several good suitors, but she wasn't interested. Her passion was making this indigo grow, and she did. But also, living near Charlestown, she met Charles Pinckney, who would become her future husband. He was married at the time, but he did help her socially in Charlestown. They were very good friends, and when Charles's wife got ill and on her deathbed, she said, "I think Liza would be a good wife for you. Please marry her." Following her death wishes, he did marry Eliza. She said he was a great husband and the best of friends. They had 4 children, 3 survived. 1 ended up signing the Constitution, and the other ran for President of America 2 times. Her daughter is who brings us to Hampton Plantation. And during the American Revolution, when the Brits took Charlestown, Eliza came here in refuge to be safe and stay with her daughter. I think we should go inside. By the time Eliza came to Horry Plantation, her husband had already passed away. She was a huge supporter of the American Revolution, and she got to know Francis Marion, the swamp fox, pretty good. She actually, at this location right here, Hampton Plantation, she had a dinner for British soldiers to distract them from Francis Marion to help him escape, which she did several times. Being one of the oldest rooms in the house, this is probably where Eliza Pinckney entertained the British troops when she brought them in so Francis Marion could escape. Harriet, Eliza's daughter, wanted to remove this tree. She said it would make the house look better. Well, in 1791, when George Washington came through, he said, "Let the tree stand." And here it is, 2026, and it still stands. You might be wondering, why did the British not burn this house down? Well, because Harriet, Eliza's daughter, married Orry, who was a loyalist. He started out as a patriot, but when he was taken captured, like a lot of the prisoners, he signed an oath to the crown and promised to go home and behave. So interesting, right? Family legend said this is the room that Francis Marion was actually in, and he fell asleep, and he knew that the ladies would alert him when the Brits were coming. When they knew they were on their way, they woke him up. Supposedly he was in a chair right there by the fireplace. He jumped up so fast, he broke the arm, and he took off through this door. Family says, out that way. Francis Marion came out this door, down these stairs, and he ran over here to the rice area where the swamps were and hid out in them. What's cool about Hampton Plantation is even though there were 300 slaves here prior to the Civil War, the families still live in the area and come here frequently. And there's a board here of their stories. I'm sitting here reflecting on this gorgeous porch of Hampton Plantation. And in 1791, George Washington also came here and got to know Eliza Pinckney. Unfortunately, she got breast cancer and went to Philadelphia for treatment, where she died. But her and George became such good friends, he was a pallbearer at her funeral. So think about it. Born in Antigua, educated in England, 16 years old, she was running plantations. She made indigo happen after being told she could not. She financed everything to prove that she could, since she had studied botany. She ended up supporting the American Revolution. She helped the swamp fox escape several times, and she had children who also made their place in society, someone you should read about.